Yes, welcome back. It's good to see you. This Licia has transformed into Gerard Rice. How are you, Gerard?
Good, Ron. How are you?
I'm great. We're on the soapbox this morning, slightly differently. I'm engaging with Gerard this morning, who comes here, part and parcel of the Newry Chamber of Commerce and Trade, but extraordinarily a man who has interest in half a dozen towns around here. What are those towns? You have Armagh, you've got Warrenpoint,
Newry, Banbridge, Newcastle, Lurgan, Armagh and Warrenpoint. 6.
You're some man for one man, I tell you. That's a big under. This man has created job opportunities in Newry. This man has done great things because he has turned his dream into reality. But I think fundamentally you're of the belief, and the Chamber is of the belief, that if the out-of-town development based at Carnbane is to go ahead, that a lot of individual prosperity in this town, independent retailers in this town, will lose out big time, and consequently shoppers and consumers will miss out. That's really the bottom line.
Yes, well, it's well known that, from America to England, coming right into Ireland, there's no town or city has ever benefited by out of town. All it just keeps diluting and diluting and diluting. I mean, people seem to forget there's only 1.5 million people in Northern Ireland. So we build all these out of town shops. Where are the people going to come from? I mean, they're not suddenly going to come out of the sky. And the thing for us as city centre or town centre traders, we've invested in our properties, we've invested in our people, we've invested in our jobs. I mean, we're a very small company and we employ between 85 and 105 people.
That's a small company.
Depending, well, I class it small. We started with nothing and here we are today. But what I'm saying is,
it's a lot of people to employ.
But along that road, I have met the Jack Murphys of this world, the Declan McChesneys, the people who have traded through the troubles in Northern Ireland. I mean, I came in on the tail end of that, so I wasn't. We've had a few bomb scares in the early days,
yeah.
but not. But where my heart goes out is the guys who have stuck at it through thick and thin, and through no fault of their own. All this out of town has been foisted upon them by these different ministers, and this minister in particular, he was town centre first.
Mark H. Durkin.
Mark H. Durkin.
He's the man who has stamped his approval on the Carnbane development, having previously said that would not happen.
Yes.
He prioritised in-town development.
But he seemed to do it in his own backyard. But then when it came to Newry, it was town centre first, but not always.
Yeah.
We met with him, we pleaded our case, we gave him a petition signed by 1,200 people. He looked at everything, he went away, and still he made his decision. Newry Council voted against this. The Chamber have shown their opposition to it, and yet he's still. So I mean, what's that all about?
Well, indeed, what's it all about? Because you've been over the jumps with him. You've told him. It's I can see the logic of an outflow of business from the town to a place on the outskirts of the town. It seems to me very, very clear that if there is a policy to support in-town development, Newry is the most perfect location for that policy to find implementation.
But we've already got a massive supermarket on the Downshire Road.
And we don't mind that. That's part and parcel of where we are.
And we welcome these people, these new people coming, but we need them inside the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. We need them in the 75 acres of development land that is available already in the town.
What did the minister say when you said to him, Minister, stand at this window and look out on the panorama that is Newry? Stand here and take in the area where there is development land for you and for any developer coming in.
He was impressed. He was impressed with Newry being an entrepreneurial town, a merchant town, as we talked about, as Martin Ward talked about, and so it is. But it's down to keep the whole thing together, keep the people together, the problem is with these out of towns, people will drive to them, and I cannot blame the customer, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm also a customer, and it's so easy to drive to these out of towns with free parking. But this is totally outside our control as traders who have invested their money.
But we have got at the moment, this is the baffling thing, we have got at the moment the Keys, the Butter Crane, Tesco, the Five Ways, the hub of Newry at the centre.
Two Duns, two Lidls.
Two Duns, two Lidls, Super Value on Hill Street.
Yes.
Why do we need this thing out the road?
We don't need it. We definitely don't need it. Don't need it. And Martin alluded to a survey that was done. 1,000 people apparently within a 5-mile radius. I live less than 3 miles from the new proposed site. I wasn't involved in a survey. A lot of my staff, in fact, I don't know anybody who was involved in the survey. Now, I may be wrong, obviously. Anyone that I generally spoke to in the area doesn't know anything about a survey.
I certainly don't know anything about it.
Apparently, there's 30,000 people who live and work in the Newry area, and there's 100,000 in the outer area. So, I mean, why not survey everybody?
Yeah, everybody, indeed. Yeah, and the technology is there to do that.
That's right.
Not a big deal to do that. These are self-evident truths. There's no escaping them. Mark H. Durkin seems to have been very expert in escaping these self-evident truths. He has gone down an inexplicable road.
Yes.
Did he put you off, as the Taoiseach put the people of Warren Point off in relation to the bridge, with a good answer? He put you off with a good answer that pleased him at the time when he met you.
Well, he hadn't taken any decision, and he told us at the roundtable talks that he wouldn't take any decision, that he would take everything in, that the girls from the chamber took him on a tour. There was some other delegates there who took him around, showed him all the different sites, because I mean, obviously I don't know where all these sites are, but they took him to where they were. I mean, one of the biggest problems here is we have a lot of vacancies in Newry, on Hill Street, in the Keys, in the Butter Crane. I mean, let's fill those first.
Yeah. You do know that this programme has invited Mark H. Durkin to come on and to go through the elements with me, item by item, and to give explanation for his decision. We have not had a response to that request. And that's the difficulty. Maybe his next stop-off, if not with me here in this studio, maybe he needs to come into Newry, sit down in the town hall, and in the not on the stage looking down on people, but in the middle of people, and answer the people's questions. That way, if he satisfactorily addresses each of the issues, satisfactorily, you guys haven't a leg to stand on. You'll be happy.
That's correct.
He's met all your demands. This is why, this is a good reason, that's a very good reason, that's another very good reason. But in fact, that's not what's happening. That's not a very good reason, Mark. That's no reason at all, Mark H. Durkin. What do you mean that doesn't add up? You're taking it to judicial review, yes?
That's correct, yeah.
That's not just a threat.
No.
Cost money to do that.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Cost £80,000 at least to do that.
It's probably going to be over 100
Yeah.
before it's finished.
Who's paying for that?
Well, the traders were very, very swift in raising the funds. I think over 8 days the money was there. We made the call, and the people backed us, and they're not backing us for any other reason other than protecting their own business. And I mean, the chamber has 250 members who range from coffee shop owners, people like myself, right through to the bigger guys. And I mean, everybody has their say. The chamber welcomes anybody. The way you join the chamber, you put your name forward and you're proposed and seconded, and everybody's welcome.
Yeah. Now, this doesn't only affect Newry. This Carnbane development, in your view, affects other areas as well, close by. Yeah,
I would go as far as saying it'll probably affect a 30-mile radius. It'll affect Dundalk. It'll affect Dundalk probably as much as Newry, because if they put the player in who they're talking about, they
Asda.
Yes, that's who. I'm not sure if that's...
I've heard it mentioned.
Well, all the drawings suggest to a store like Asda. If it's Asda, which they don't have in the south, they're going to flock from the south.
Get me a head around why it's needed.
It's not needed.
You know, I want to go... I will go, you know, to Marks and Spencer. I will go to Sainsbury's. I will go to Super Value. I will go to Centra, all within the town. I'll go to Tesco. With great joy, go to Tesco. It's on the main artery. It's convenient.
Yes.
But who's driving this? Is it the developers driving it for developer-only interest?
Well, you're asking me a question I can't answer.
Well, it's not illegal to have a view on it.
No, but
Developers are in business to make money.
Of course
to
they
make
are,
developments.
yes.
And if they develop it and they get the units leased out for 25 years, or wherever it might be,
yes,
then, so to speak, they're happy on the way to the bank.
yes. Well, we have no issue with Asda, but we want them in the town, and that's where we're coming from. And we'll do whatever we can in our power to protect our jobs, protect our businesses, and that's where we're at today.
What's the state of play with the minister? Is the next time the minister, Mark H. Durkan, is going to see you, will it be across a busy courtroom?
I believe it will. I mean, obviously that's not my role in this, but we will have to employ the people to do this job for us. But that's the likely route, and that's, I think, where we're going today.
There's no way that you can make a telephone call to his people can make a telephone call to you and say, look, there's no point in going down this road because we believe if we go down this road that you're going to lose. We want to save you that trouble, that embarrassment. Let's sit down. Let's have a 2-day seminar in Newry, in the Canal Court Hotel, with Mark Durkan there. In that 2-day seminar, with the various representatives making the case, council involved, MLAs involved, and do it outside the court.
As far as I'm concerned, the decision has been taken. There's no going back. Mr. Durkan has taken his decision, and here we lie. The planning permission has been granted.
You've got to put manners in him in the court then.
Well,
so to speak.
Whatever
in the Newry Parliament.
Whatever needs to be done.
Needs to be done. You don't do it.
I mean, we're here protecting our own businesses, and for me, I have only the interest of my own business, my own staff.
Yeah.
Where am I to be in 4 years?
Yeah.
No business.
Yeah.
And we're not prepared to sit by and let that happen.
Gerard Rice, thank you very much indeed for being on the soapbox this morning. A slightly different kind of soapbox this morning. Thank you for explaining that all to us. And once again, we say to Mark H. Durkan that your name in the heart of Newry is mud. If you want to clean up the act and get in here and explain to people your decisions, you're very, very welcome indeed. You're with Destination Newry, the soapbox.